Phoebe Bridgers is an artist, released an album called Punisher. It
She's
is
another indie. Oh, sorry, it is.
11 songs long, 40 minutes long.
She's another one of these indie artists that she actually did some stuff on the 1975 album, Notes in a Conditional Form. She was featured on Jesus Christ, God Bless America, whatever that fucking title was. Thanks, Maddie. Lord Jesus. And she's done some other stuff here or there that I've heard her stuff on. I've never really been too big a fan of her sound because I think it's the indie that I don't necessarily like, where it's a little too airy for the vocals. But this album, she definitely has some of that pieces towards the end of the album, but the beginning and the middle of the album, I actually quite enjoyed a lot. I think it's a big thing for her to do to keep producing her sound a little bit more and more to where it wasn't just this acoustic, airy thing that she's been doing for a while, but now go into more of different styles of indie music. And I did enjoy it, actually.
Yeah, it's a bit of a branch out.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much a lot of what you said. I hadn't heard really Phoebe Bridgers too much, so I hadn't even made that much of an opinion on it.
Okay.
So I'm really coming into this hot. And this was pretty good. I think, yeah, like Haim was kind of like the blowout indie release of this week. So I have a lot of that in my mind. But this is a chiller, kind of more laid back, held in.
It reminded me of some of early the Japanese house music, where with some of Amber's early stuff was kind of the stripped down things, except her voice is without, like, I love Amber's voice way more than Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe, like, your music's not bad, but Amber's is ridiculous. But it reminded me of some of that stuff where it was her small EPs, but this was a lot of the album. But that is her sound in general, is kind of similar to that. Not as well produced, though. But,
I was going to say, like, not to follow some type of pun here, but the song Kyoto, it kind of captures that, similar to the Japanese house. It's like kind of bedroom rock, kind of not quite shoegazy, but just kind of a continuing rock flow. But it's very soft. I mean, again, like, it's upbeat. The drums are kind of punchy, but it's all kind of in this sort of box. Not box in a bad way, but it's meant to say it's chill. It's relaxing. It's not something that gets your heart rate going too quickly.
It's that chill indie that there's definitely a lot of viewership, so there's a lot of people who like this, and it checks off all those boxes for that style of bedroom chill pop indie, is what I would call that. So like early B2B as well, stuff like that, where you literally feel like you're sitting on a bed with a guitar pedal and acoustic guitar, and you're just chilling. There's a couple of good stuff in here, especially with the middle of it. Halloween, I really like that song a lot. I think that is her best song I've ever heard her make so far. Definitely the height of the album for me. Even Chinese Satellite right after Halloween I did like. I didn't like towards the end. I didn't like I See You, Graceland 2 a little bit, but I thought I Know the End actually is a very, very good track to end the album on. But anyways, Halloween is, it's very, it's one of those indie songs I get, like I was talking about Heyman on Los Angeles, is one of those songs that's perfectly produced for an indie track, to where it doesn't get that monotonous stuff that can be an issue with indie, but it has enough of her sound to sound like a Phoebe Bridgers song, but enough to push it to where you can hear her trying to push her sound further, trying to do little different things on the themes of it. The tonality of the song is fantastic. So I was very impressed with that song.
Yeah, and the tonality, like you were saying, really gets to shine on. In indie, really best, it does a lot with a little. And Halloween is doing a lot with a little there. And how you're playing with the tone, how you're playing with just the easy sort of guitar string strumming, just kind of being the soothing thing on your ears that gets you into the song. It's that part of it's really thoughtfully crafted. It's just some of what indie does. So I was pleasantly surprised by this. I don't think it's like, again, it doesn't have that like memorable.
It's the problem is there's it gets kind of trailed off by the end of the album, where it's a little lackluster towards the end, but there are definitely highlights of this album that say, wow, okay, she is very talented. There is a lot of music that she's making now that I'm starting to like more than her earlier works, because even like her stuff on 1975 I did not like at all. That was, I think, some of the lowest points on notes, but with this I think she's starting to get into her own self and become a very solid indie artist. So props.
Love it, love it, love it.
I love it when people change their fucking sound.
Yes. We do this podcast as a memorial, a testament to people changing their fucking sound. Arbitrary scale on that. I don't really know many Twitch bans or even ways you can get banned, so I'm just going to say this is a
This is when you make an accidental homophobic slur.
I'm going to take this out of the offensive thing because this is one of my favorite things the song got banned for on Twitch. Was one time he was streaming from his car as he was like about to pull up to his house. So he was technically driving. Twitch really does not like that. And so Twitch banned him for less than a week, but more than a couple days because he was streaming while driving technically. Or like while in a moving vehicle that he was piloting.
Exactly. Or this is where you show feet on cam and you get out. Or the one chick who did she was breastfeeding on Twitch and Twitch banned her for breastfeeding her kid. I was like, holy shit. People are wild.
No, see, that's always the line. Breastfeeding
is the line.
Because it's like, are you gonna really like annoy a mother who's like dealing with her like business
with her infant, or is she trying to get views? Like, you don't know. Toe the line.
I think if an infant is involved, it's on Twitch. If an infant is not involved, it's on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think that's allowed.
DM Evans and Associates legal corner.
I think Amazon's okay with that.
We'll ask Jeff Bezos in our next meeting.